Look, we all face that moment, right? The one that demands a comeback. It's really a universal story. It's about resilience, finding your purpose, and turning one single, tough moment into a massive catalyst for change. So, let's dive into how it's done. And this right here, this is the core truth of it all. It's that uncomfortable, uncertain moment when you just have to take the first step, even when every fiber of your being is screaming that it's too soon. This idea of being ready, it's a total myth. The start is now.
So what sparks the need for a comeback in the first place? Well, it usually starts right here with what our source material calls the sideways hit. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that moment life just throws something at you completely out of left field, and it knocks you totally off balance.
For a lot of us, it's a shock at work, a sudden layoff that just shakes your sense of security, your identity, just bam, a jarring change you never, ever saw coming.
And of course, that event leads to this, a fog of uncertainty. It's that really disorienting feeling of, what's next? And that place can be totally paralyzing if you let it. Okay, so after the shock, that's when the really hard part kicks in. The slow and, let's be honest, often painful process of picking up the pieces. But here's the thing. The goal isn't just to glue the pieces back together the way they were. Nope. It's about forging them into something totally new, something stronger. I mean, we've all been there, right? That feeling of getting knocked flat on your back and just trying to figure out, okay, how do I get up? But honestly, the bigger question, the one that really lights the fire for a comeback, is why. Finding that why, it changes everything.
And that's what brings us to the real turning point in any comeback story, finding your real why. This is that critical moment where the story stops being about what happened to you and it starts being about what you're going to do about it. And that decision, it has to be fueled by a purpose that's way bigger than the setback itself.
You know, for the author of our source material, the whole thing clicked into place because of this really simple question from his daughter. On the surface, it seems like a question about fear, but what it actually did was unlock a much, much deeper realization about his motivation.
And wow, this slide just captures that shift perfectly, doesn't it? Over on the left, you've got the stuff you think you're doing it for. You know, the external rewards, like a medal or that perfect finish line photo. But then look at the right. It completely transforms into something so much deeper, an internal purpose that's all about legacy. It stops being about proving something to the world and starts being about showing what's possible for the people who matter most to you.
And this lays out that new foundation perfectly. These three pillars are so concrete, so powerful. And get this, notice how only one of these is about himself. The other two, they're about serving others, his family, his community. Now that is a why that can pull you through just about anyhow.
Okay, but let's be real. Finding your why doesn't magically make the journey easy. It just makes it possible. A real comeback, it has a price. And it's so important to just be straight up about that.
Yeah, there's absolutely no sugarcoating this. The work you have to put in, whether it's the physical grind of training or the emotional work of rebuilding your life, it's gonna hurt. I mean, there are gonna be days you just wanna quit. But this is where the whole mindset has to flip. That pain, it's not a stop sign. It's proof that you're paying the entry fee for something that actually matters. The struggle itself becomes part of the win. It's what makes the comeback worth watching in the first place.
So yeah, the road ahead, it's guaranteed to be tough. Our source material is crystal clear on this. The hard miles are coming, and they're gonna test everything you've got. But here's the flip side. Just as certain as that struggle is the finish line. Those hard miles, they don't go on forever. They're actually leading you somewhere real. And that red carpet moment, it's just as inevitable as the pain it took to earn it.
So this all brings us to the final, most important choice that every single comeback story hangs on. It's the question you've got to ask yourself when you're right in the middle of it all.
And in the end, this is really what it all boils down to. That setback, that sideways hit, it's just a thing that happened. It doesn't mean anything until you give it meaning. So are you going to let it define you? Let it become the story of how you were beaten? Or are you going to let it drive you? Let it become the fuel for why you fought back and became something more? That choice, it's always yours.